Lesson 4-9, Example 2. Our objective is learning to estimate sums and differences of fractions and mixed numbers. So let's look at some mixed numbers here. You can think about estimating with mixed numbers in a similar way you can if you're just looking at with fractions. So here we have some mixed numbers, and we want to find out some information about Tosha's walking distances. So the first question is, about how far did Tosha walk on Tuesday and Thursday? Well, Tuesday she walked 5 1/10 miles, and on Thursday she walked 4 7/8 miles. And I want to know the total, so I'm adding those together. Well, if I just want an about, if I want to know close, I want to think about these fractions here and what they mean. This fraction here, so I have 5 wholes and then a little bit more. So I can think about my number line over here, except instead of 0 and 1, I'm going to be thinking about 5, 5 1/2, and 6. Because that's this number right here. I have 5 and a little bit extra. So I want to know, am I close to 5, 5 1/2, or 6 wholes? Well, 1/10, if I know that that's just one of those things, it's 1/10 just above here. So it's probably somewhere just a little bit above 0. So that means, or a little bit above 5 wholes. So I'm going to think that 5 1/10 is very close to 5. 4 7/8. Well, so I can think of this again. I can think of my number line, except this time I'm thinking with 4s. 4, 4 1/2, or 5. So 4 7/8. Well, this 7/8 is what I'm going to focus on. Now that 7/8 is awfully close to a whole. And if this were a whole, then this would be a total, would be 4 and 1 whole, which would be a total of 5 things. So that means it's very close to 5 wholes. So I'm going to think of 4 7/8 as 5 wholes. And 5 and 5 is 10. So this problem, 5 1/10 plus 4 7/8, is about 10 miles. So Tosha walked about 10 miles on Tuesday and Thursday. Let's take a look at another problem. About how much farther did Tosha walk on Sunday than on Thursday? Well, Sunday she walked 8 9/10 miles. And we want to know how much farther on Sunday than Thursday. Thursday she walked 4 7/8 miles. Since we're looking at farther, we want to subtract there. So 8 9/10 minus 4 7/8. Well, I can think again about using a number line. In this case, I'm looking at 8 9/10, so 8, 8 1/2, or 9. Which is it closest to? Well, 9/10. 10/10 would be a whole, so 9/10 is pretty close to a whole there. 8 and another whole would be 9, so it's very close to 9. So I'm going to round this 8 9/10 to 9. And 4 7/8, well, that's the same one I had up here, and I already know that that's close to 5. So 9 minus 5 is 4. So I can say 8 9/10 minus 4 7/8 is about 4 miles farther. She walked about 4 miles farther on Sunday than on Thursday. Let's take a look at one more. Estimate the total distance she walked on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, Thursday was 4 7/8. We've seen that one before. And Saturday is 6 3/7. And Sunday, again, is 8 9/10. So we want to know the total distance there. So we're adding those up. Well, we know that 4 7/8, we've looked at that one already. That's pretty close to 5. 8 9/10, we looked at that one in the previous problem, and that was pretty close to 9. So now we need to know about 6 3/7. So you're going to think here as it's going to be either close to 6, 6 1/2, or 7. Well, 3/7. I know that if I was halfway between 7, that would be 3.5. And 3 is pretty close to that. So 3/7 is going to be very close to 6.5. It's going to be maybe right up about there. There's that 6 3/7. So I can think that this is going to be 6.5, about that. So now when I do this, I can actually work this problem in my head. I can think that 5 plus 6 is 11.5. I have 11.5, and 9 plus 11 is 20.5. So these three mixed numbers added up, 4 7/8 plus 6 3/7 plus 8 9/10 is about 20.5 miles. Again, not exact, but it's a good estimate. It's an about.